So my name is Patrick Bach, I'm the GM of DICE, and we're here at E3 2015.
So let's talk about what you guys have playable here at Star Wars Battlefront on the show floor.
So here at E3 we're showing off a multiplayer map on Hoth and a new game mode called Walker Assault. And we're also showing off a mission that is the offline component of the game, and that is being played out on Tatooine, and we're showing it split screen.
So let's start with Hoth. Give us a sense of the scope and scale of bringing that classic Empire Strikes Back to the video game.
Well, it's all about game design and what makes the most fun map, and of course Hoth is a huge map, and it has two AT-AT walkers, and the goal is of course for the Empire to crush through the rebels and take over, and of course for the rebels to defend themselves against that attack.
Can you talk a little about the gameplay from the perspective of whether you're on the ground or whether you're in control of any of the vehicles, or what role the vehicles play?
Yeah, so on this in this particular game mode, it's kind of we throw everything at it. So you can fly an X-wing, fly a TIE fighter, you can control and command an AT-AT, and of course you can control an AT-ST as well have the full infantry experience with all the weapons and gears that you could ever imagine.
Can you talk a little about how you guys made this, because you actually went to some of the locales and used the real vehicles and props from the movies?
Yeah, so this has been a very interesting collaboration with Lucasfilm on building this game, because we've been extremely cautious in kind of trying to stay within the universe and don't go off into random space game territory. So we've been very meticulous on actually going to the locations where the original movies were shot, and collecting all our reference data and using technology and a technique called photogrammetry, where you actually take a lot of photos and you stitch them together to create the props of the game. We also went to the Lucasfilm archives to actually do the same thing with the original props from the movies. So when you're actually wielding a lightsaber in the game, you're actually wielding the lightsaber that was used in the movies. So everything is scanned to the most top quality detail, and is being rendered in the game with the Frostbite engine, and I think it looks just stunning.
Can you talk a little about balance? Because I would imagine with something like Hoth, everyone wants to jump into a speeder or a vehicle. How do you balance people that are on the ground versus people that are in vehicles?
Well, I think DICE has a long history of balancing multiplayer games. So I think we're pretty good at finding the right balance and the benefits depending on your personality, on whether you're an infantry soldier or you want to control a vehicle. We also have a completely new way of looking at this game, since it's a different franchise than what DICE has did before. So from a design perspective, we actually have pickups in the world, which means that if you want to fly a vehicle, you will have to find the X-wing or TIE fighter pickup. And that creates a very different dynamics of the whole setup. The map is very much alive because people are either fighting or they're trying to explore the map to find these pickups. So you can notice that people have a very different behavior than most other shooters. So that's actually quite exciting.
What about the perspective? What about the perspective of playing on the Empire side and that gameplay experience? Can you talk about some of the variations there?
I think either Empire or you're a Rebel, I think we've been trying to focus on going back to what that means from the movies as well, and giving you all the gear and all the kind of benefits of being, for instance, as in your question, on the Empire side. Of course, you can control the AT-ATs, which is a very cool platform to wreak havoc from. You have access to orbital strikes. You have different guns and cannons they can use. You also have the AT-STs that is more agile and quick. And of course, you use all of these things to fight the rebel scum.